We are back on Morning Line. Thanks for joining us. It's not Sports Line, but Steve Layman's here as we have to talk, and it's not a problem because we want to talk. Headline, yeah, I'm holding it up, and there's the highlights. Of course, you know what I'm talking about. Prehistoric, the Predators win last night. They advanced to the Stanley Cup. They'll either play the Penguins or the Senators. And you were just talking about Barry Melrose, who is kind of the lead commentator, that one of the few people at ESPN that did not get fired. And he talking about the Predators. What was it he said? And he's a very respected voice in hockey.
I mean, he's their only analyst.
He's
so
the national analyst.
He should be the guy who's the most objective as you could possibly find on their network. And he's been saying for 2 rounds that he's secretly hoping that Nashville makes the Stanley Cup Final because of the atmosphere and the team. It will be the best Stanley Cup Final ever put on by the NHL.
Yeah.
And so now he's got half of that wish. And we were just talking in the break what the NHL hopes for. Ottawa-Nashville is not going to be super great for the ratings, especially here domestically.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh would be better, although that's not a huge market either. You do get the star power of Crosby and Malkin with that, though.
Right.
The thing is, though, people who watch and true hockey fans, they know now what the scene is in Nashville. I don't think it's going to be treated as a small market team. To me, Nashville in the Stanley Cup Final is way more interesting to the general hockey fan than like if you had Philadelphia in there.
Yeah, I agree.
A bigger city, bigger market, but not nearly as interesting in terms of the product.
Not the story. A number 8 seed. If you get behind underdogs in anything, why? And they are an underdog, being an 8 seed, even though they're playing as well as anyone. Man, why wouldn't you want to watch that and see if they could knock off? Were the Penguins the number 1 seed in the?
No,
conference?
The Penguins were the
right.
second seed
Beside
out of
Washington.
the Metropolitan Division. They beat Washington, which was the President's Trophy.
But still, they're a top seed, and it would end up. I wouldn't mind seeing the Penguins in Nashville. That would be my thing.
I think that'd probably be the most exciting series.
Yeah. So let's go to Phil. Hi, Phil.
Hey.
Good morning, Phil. What's on your mind?
Good morning. Steve, I just want to ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
Can you give us a 5-minute crash course on some of the rules, like boarding and high sticking? And I just want to give a shout out to all the Preds fans. Congratulations. And I want to play the Pittsburgh Penguins in the playoffs and beat Sidney Crosby.
I'm with you, Phil.
Beat the defending champs.
Give him a minute one because we have a couple more calls. But real quick, boarding and high sticking.
Okay, boarding is if you're a guy's facing the boards, you come up, hit him from behind, and knock him into the boards.
We saw that yesterday.
Saw that a couple times. Nick Ritchie got a game misconduct for it. That was an egregious boarding.
Yes.
So you really can't do that. That's all about protection. High sticking, also about protection. That's when the stick comes up on anything other than a follow-through of a shot.
Okay.
A stick comes up and hits a guy above basically the neck. Usually it's in the face. That's how you get it because the guy recoils in horror.
And those are going to be penalties.
Those are always going to be penalties. They can vary in times based off the degree of severity.
And real quick, one thing a lot of us hear all the time, icing.
Icing. Icing is when the puck goes more than 2 lines.
Okay, I see the lines.
So center line, attack zone line, or all 3 lines. It goes down to the other end of the ice without an offensive player touching it in that time, and a defensive player beats him to the dot.
I gotcha.
Is what it is. So basically, somebody asked me, is it a penalty for trying to delay the game? No, it's basically a penalty for a lack of execution. Sometimes it's used as a delay of game tactic, but it's really a stoppage of play for a lack of execution. If you're trying an aggressive pass and you don't connect, you don't get to go chase it. It comes back to your zone for a faceoff.
The way I look at it is it eliminates the possibility of cherry picking, where you just leave some offensive player in front of the goalie down there and you just shoot the cup all the way down to him, and then he's one-on-one with the goalie.
The other one to that is offsides, which people always ask about, which means when you're carrying the puck into the zone, every player on your team has to be outside that last blue line or the attack zone line. You have to have a skate behind that line as you carry the puck into the zone.
Gotcha. All right, let's go to Joe real quick. Joe, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I was at the little watering hole last night, and everybody said, well, why'd they blow the whistle? I said, well, the guy shot the puck over the glass. And they said, well, what's wrong with that? I said, well, that's a delay of game. Unless it touches another stick or another player, then it just goes to a penalty, and that's the way it goes. I guess in NHL, and I'm from Chicago, so I came up here, watch a little hockey. I got a house here in Robertson County.
That's awesome, Joe.
I got a brother here, and we've been rooting for the Predators. So we just want to say, go Preds.
Thank you for the call. That's the other one that was. I learned this. So if you hit the puck, and these guys are skilled enough to lift it out if they want, and it goes over the glass,
That actually is delay of game. If you're in your own zone and you try to flip the puck out of the zone and it goes over the glass without hitting someone else's
sitting down?
stick.
Is that a penalty where you sit down?
Yeah, you go to the box for 2 minutes. And actually that happened last night.
It just grazed the top of it,
Well, that was the second time, and this was key. Roman Josi did it once. This was the final penalty of the game with 8:03 to go, where he just flipped it out. It went straight over the boards into the crowd. That's a 2-minute delay of game.
Right? Yeah.
Right. But he's trying to clear it, and he did it in a hurry, kind of panicked, threw it in the crowd. Safety again. 2 minutes, he goes to the box. Moments later, about 30 seconds later, Austin Watson did a similar thing, only on replay, it hit the very top of the glass. That saved him. If it didn't hit the glass, that would have been another 2 minutes, and the Preds would have had to kill off a 5-on-3 there.
Big.
That might have changed the entire course of the game because it nicked the glass. That saved Austin Watson, and they moved on.
Something else I like about NHL, and it seems so much faster than the NFL, but they do a good job utilizing the instant replay.
Replay's generally good, although sometimes with goals and interference, it's totally a mess. Every replay system has its flaws.
All right, real quickly, just we've got a minute. Remind us again, the Stanley Cup starts next Monday.
Stanley Cup Final next Monday, Game 1. It'll be either at Pittsburgh or Ottawa, whoever comes out of the Eastern Conference Final. Game 2 will be Wednesday. Then Games 3 and 4, which are guaranteed, back here in Nashville, which will be Saturday, June the 3rd, Monday, June the 5th. It could go as late as June 14th if it goes all the way to Game 7.
Wow, think about that. And by the time the Stanley Cup playoffs begin, the final that is, we should have the center back, right? We should have
hopefully have Mike Fisher back. He'll have to. We think it's a concussion. He'll have to pass that protocol to be back. Ryan Johansson definitely will not be back because of his leg injury.
It's going to be exciting. We'll be watching all your coverage.
One day, by the way, Game 6, which is when the Preds have closed out each of these past 2 series, would be Sunday, June the 11th. You know what else is going on that day? That is the final day of CMA Fest. Could you imagine this city? If you are wrapping up CMA Fest with that final night concert, and at the same time, Lord Stanley's Cup is in the building with the Preds with a chance to win a world title.
Thank you. We'll be right back. Thank you.
See ya.
That's going to be a zoo.